With instructions of the Speaker, I will work immediately as a senior member of the Appropriations Committee to suspend this program, the ESTA visa program. We'll work to get that done immediately. So with that, I'll turn that over to Young Kim.
Thank you. First of all, I want to welcome our Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy, to Orange County. Thank you so much for being here to shed the light on the Chilean-related gang activities that's happening right here in Orange County, because that's hurting not just my constituents in the California 40th Congressional District, but all of us. So we just heard from the victims of the law enforcement about how the South American theft groups are abusing the visa waiver program and sending criminals to burglarize my constituents right here in Orange County. I just had a meeting this morning with the mayors within my 40th Congressional District, and I heard from them. From Villa Park to Orange to Mission Viejo, especially in Laguna Hills. Laguna Hills alone, the mayor was telling me that in the last 6 months, they have in 86 reported home burglaries and robberies related to these activities. And I'm sure Orange County DA Todd Spitzer is more aware of this, but it is also alarming to me personally to know that more Asian American homes are also being the targets of the home burglaries. South American theft groups, they run a very, very sophisticated operations. So, you know, the members of these gangs receive training in South America. They travel to the United States without, with just a tourist visa, because again, it is a country that is given that special visa waiver program, and all they have to do is go online and then apply for the ESTA program, where according to our MOU between our two countries, the passengers that are traveling, when they apply, they have to answer those questions and talk about whether or not they have the criminal history. Obviously, they lie. We don't know that. And the way that we vet those passengers coming from Chile into the United States, we have no way of knowing it. The system is broken. But they come here with those tourist passports, they surveil homes for weeks, and they carry out those burglaries that score hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of goods. And they sell that online or overseas and launder those funds through the Chinese crime syndicates. As DA Spitzer can attest to this more, like I said, they target the Asian American households. The Chilean government is required to properly vet passengers coming to the United States, but what we heard today is that is not the case, and that is not happening. That is really concerning, given the number of individuals with criminal histories traveling to the United States with those tourist visas and passports, that is. So this is a threat to our national security, and it's a public safety right here in Orange County. And for years, there hasn't been enough action from our government to hold the Chilean government accountable for failing to properly vet people. That's why I led the outreach approach, and I sent a letter to the Department of Homeland Security and State Department on this issue with bipartisan colleagues, with my colleagues from Orange County as well, including Congressman Lou Correa. This is a bipartisan issue, and I'm committed to working with our local law enforcement officials who are standing here with us, and my colleagues standing right here with us, to put an end to this and keep our communities safe. And I am definitely going to be one of those strong voices to make sure that this program ends in Chile. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Assemblymember Vince Fong. I want to thank the Speaker for inviting me to hear what's going on not only here in Orange County and Ventura, but also throughout California and the United States, and how Sacramento and the state legislature can do a better job in partnering with our local and our federal counterparts. Speaker McCarthy and my colleagues standing behind me and our law enforcement are completely right. California is going in the wrong direction with its ill-conceived soft-on-crime policies. And now we see data and reports that international organized crime syndicates are exploiting our lax crime laws in California. District Attorney Spitzer has a unique perspective on this, and I appreciate his leadership, having served in the state legislature and now is prosecuting criminals. Californians, and us included, have watched California change before our eyes. And it has not gotten better, especially when they see rising crime across our communities. And we cannot sit back and do nothing. Time and time again, we see residents being victimized by criminals. Yet the out-of-touch policies coming out of Sacramento, being signed by Governor Newsom, are protecting criminals over victims. There are a number of policies that California could enact right now to help fix this destructive problem. We have action that is going to be taken on a national level, but we need to give our law enforcement and our district attorneys more tools. That requires Governor Newsom to reverse course and look at the real-world consequences of his policies. Governor Newsom can fix the broken bail system. He can increase accountability and penalties for criminal activities. And he could repeal Prop 47 to start and help us do that. He can foster more coordination between local, state, and federal law enforcement agencies, not tie the hands of our local law enforcement. That was the message heard loud and clear. The lack of coordination right now that we see because our agencies are being hamstrung from communicating with each other. The rising crimes terrorizing our communities are a disgrace. But we are now seeing the growing extent of criminal activity that's happening that span our state and across the nation. Governor Newsom should focus on keeping Californians safe by working with all sides on all levels and with other states. Unfortunately, we aren't seeing that right now. We need to give our law enforcement and our district attorneys more tools to keep our communities safe, and I'm committed to do that. So with that, let me hand it back to Speaker McCarthy for questions and answers. Thank you.
I want to thank all the members for joining us. I want to thank all the police chiefs for the work they do and the law enforcement to protect us. They told us a story that they're spending a lot of resources, a lot of overtime at night to try to secure their communities. Secretary Mayorkas could solve all that for us. He has the power right now. He has the knowledge of what's happening across this country to stop the visa waiver program for Chile until they allow us to look at the backgrounds, the criminal backgrounds of who's entering our country. If he will not act, we will take that action in the next 2 weeks inside our appropriations. We want our communities to be safe. We want our communities to feel as though they're safe in their own homes. Right now, we are not, and we will change all that. With that, let's take a few questions. Yes, sir.
Can you ask your question into the microphone so we can capture on the question?
Hi, Mr. Speaker. I'm Ellis Michelson.
Good to see you again.
Good to see you. I spoke last night with Congressman Mike Levin, Democrat, about this very issue, and he agrees with a lot of what you're saying. Luke Correa signed a letter about this as well. Have you spoken to the Secretary of Homeland Security about this specifically? If so, what did he say to you? And if not, what's the message?
I haven't been able to speak to the Secretary directly, but I will. I would hope he would take action today. As you know, it's a bipartisan issue. They don't pick the homes based upon where somebody's registered. It goes throughout our entire country. The challenge here that I'll ask the Secretary, why hasn't he briefed Congress about it? Why hasn't he told us? Why has he omitted this portion from the report he has to provide to us every 2 years to the Judiciary Committee? He will come before the committee next month. I hope he's prepared to answer this question because on a bipartisan level, we want America protected. If he won't take action, we will. Yes, sir. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, you just, whoever has the mic.
We obtained a letter today from the Chilean ambassador to another congressional member saying that they have been in negotiations with Homeland Security for a few months about a new agreement where they would provide some of these criminal records of ESTA applicants to the United States. They say they're close to an agreement. First, have you been briefed on any of these negotiations? And second, if they get an agreement in the near future, the next week or two, what's your reaction? Would you still go forward with these steps?
My first reaction would be, let's stop the visa waiver program until the agreement is solved. Why would we continue to allow, if 350,000 Chileans are coming to America every single year, We have a rise in crime. Why wouldn't we just stop that program until the agreement is reached? I imagine the agreement would be reached faster if the program would stop. I'd rather protect Americans instead of the feelings of the Chileans, whether they're getting this done right or not. So I would direct the Secretary of Homeland to stop the program today until we get it fixed. If it's not fixed by next week, we will put it into our bill. Who has the mic? Yes.
Thank you. Is there any chance that Congress or the House would consider the entire accelerated program? Because people from other countries also being asked 50 questions, the same exact questions. So I was just wondering that. And then, if I may, I'd say, since today we have two representatives here, how important is it that you work with representatives who have other types of background? And if I may, just as one more question, since you mentioned China earlier, sorry about this. As you may know, China's ambassador to South Korea warned that those who bet that China will lose out to the U.S. will certainly regret it. What you regret?
Well, you gave me three questions there. First, I'd say to the ambassador, he is wrong. I wouldn't have bet against the United States. I wouldn't have bet against freedom. I wouldn't have bet against democracy. And I would stop dealing with Putin and supporting their rise inside Ukraine as well. I don't think anybody in the world wants to stand with them when it comes to that. But first and foremost, what I would say, it's a great honor to serve with Michelle Steele and Young Kim. They do an amazing job for all Americans. One thing I'm great pride of is the expansion within our party across this nation of who's serving with us. I think it's very important when we live in America that everybody becomes an American and everybody has a voice, everybody has an opportunity to have that voices heard, and we want more voices at the table. First thing you want too as an American, you want a community that is safe. It's one thing to think that a street is not safe, but of all Americans, your home should be the very safest place in your life. When you become a victim of your home, where do you go for security? Where do you sleep at night? Where do you have your children? It takes away every sense of security that you have with a home invasion. We have the data and the records to show what the rise in crime that's coming from Chile can be stopped. If the Secretary of Homeland will not do his job, we will. It's as simple as that. And it shouldn't take a district attorney sitting in Orange, California, Orange County, when the rest of the nation is being victimized, to have to stop this. The Secretary knows it, he provides it in data, and he should have done something about it, and he shouldn't wait around till the negotiations are done. The best way to have the negotiations solved in the manner to protect all Americans is to do it now, and we should look at the entire program. With that, thank you very much.
All right, thank you.